going to try and use sourdough discard unfed starter from the fridge to make a loaf of sourdough. So I'm pretty sure that we can do that without any issues. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. So this sourdough starter had been fed about a day and a half ago, so definitely not very bubbly, not at its peak like you can see where it's risen up there. Okay, we're going to add our discard. As you can see, it's not very bubbly. I fed it yesterday morning.
That sourdough smells good.
You can see here that the sourdough starter is pretty liquidy, typical of a fully hydrated starter. Okay, hold on, let me make sure we don't get too much.
That is a little too much.
No, it's okay.
But it's probably okay.
Can you get a wooden spoon?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna stir this together.
Oopsie.
Go ahead and stir it together. We'll stir it until it's all well combined. Okay, let me see.
Is it great?
It's getting there. Let me see.
I think that's a good sourdough.
Okay, we've got it all combined in there. We're gonna add the flour. So we need 950 grams of flour. And then I'm gonna grab the salt. Okay, and we're gonna add about 20 grams of salt. Okay. And we're just gonna stir that to make a shaggy dough, just like this. All right, we got our shaggy dough. We're gonna cover and let this sit for 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, so here we are about an hour later. I'm doing our stretch and folds on our dough. So the reason why I wanted to try making a sourdough loaf using discard or unfed starter is because when you feed your starter to prep for making a loaf of sourdough, you just feed flour and water, right? So if you do that, and you have to wait, it just adds an extra step. So why not just use discard or unfed starter in your initial loaf and just wait for your bread to rise a little bit longer? It saves you that extra step, and for a busy homemaker or something, it can really save you some time. And I'm not sure of all the science that goes behind it. I'm not sure how people used to do it a long time ago, but this is what works for me right now. And I'm sure you could do a lot more research to see the best way to do it, but I hope this helps you. Okay, and I'm doing a second stretch and fold here. And if you look, you can see how elastic that dough has already gotten. It holds together really well. When you stretch it out, it's got a really good stretch to it right there. And this will probably be my last set of stretch and fold right here. And you know, this dough really does feel a lot like the dough with my active sourdough starter does. So I'm curious to see how the final sourdough product turns out. So from here, I'm gonna let the sourdough rise all day, and I'll show you this evening what it looks like. All right, this is after 10 hours of fermenting at room temperature. Look at that, we've more than doubled. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge overnight and then shape them in the morning. All right, I forgot to show me making the loaves, but here's all the loaves resting, getting ready to go in the bannetons. Into the bannetons we go. All right, and this here is after I let the dough rise for about 3 hours in the bannetons, and then I stuck them in the fridge for about 30 minutes before I scored them. And here I'm going to just do a simple crisscross score with some lines to make it look like leaves. But there we go. From discard, unfed sourdough starter. Here we are cutting open that loaf. And as you can see, not quite as much as an open crumb, but still very pleased with the results. So I would say very much a success and something I'm going to do anytime I'm short on time. Voila, there we go. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you. Goodbye.